So I'm more than happy that we're here together and that you took the time, and I would like to address a few questions to you. So, can you describe a day in your life? Not the perfect day, but a real one. So, what do the first and last 15 minutes look like?
The first and the last 15 minutes look like. That is probably pretty similar every day.
Mm,
And the first 15 minutes would be if I'm home, it's a time where me and my husband actually sit down, connect with each other, have a cup of coffee, and set a tone for the day
mm,
in terms of what needs to happen or just work. But we definitely take those. I wouldn't say just 15 minutes. I would say more than 15 minutes, like say close to 30 minutes. It is a time that we give each other, and we're just there. So that's very precious for us, a cup of coffee together. And then even if I'm not in India and I'm traveling, if the time does permit, and if he's traveling, if time does permit, we still do it online or a
mm,
call. So those minutes are very precious to both of us. And in the night, it is more relaxing and meditating and getting into a place of very beautiful space and consciousness and then sliding to sleep. So
mm.
these are actually, it doesn't change for most of it. A very beautiful moment of connection is where and how we love to start our day.
This is beautiful. Who's the first person who opened your heart in a massive manner?
My husband. Yeah, because he is someone who can effortlessly connect um, in terms of people, the care that he can give to people, people whom he knows, people he doesn't know, the way his heart can move. And it kind of really has opened up my heart, I would say.
Wow, this is very, really nice. What is your earliest memory of feeling a deep sense of connection or wonder as a child?
I would say connection is something that comes very naturally to me. And in terms of, I don't have one particular incident, like a particular space in which I started to connect, or a particular time or an incident which kind of made me feel more. No, I just felt I was like, it was so easy for me to reach out and connect to people. One second. Yeah, something came up. So it's so easy to reach out and connect to people. And but I think probably it revolved more around family for me. It
Mhm.
revolved around my parents, my sister, a few cousins, a heart that can truly connect. I think I don't know how. I don't know where it started. I don't know if I was never not being able to. So those are questions I've never pondered over, but it just feels very easy.
Mhm. And how did becoming a mother shape your spiritual depth and your teaching?
Oh, absolutely. That to kind of, to to be selfless in um, it's like training your brain, your mind, especially when she was young. It's like, I could see that she was living her life through me. She was living her inner experience was so much through what I felt, how I experienced, and it kind of made me, I would say, even more responsible for what I was feeling, even more responsible for how I was responding to life. It's just not about what she was going to take from me. in terms of behaviors or actions or attitudes, not just that, but in terms of the feeling, the person. And it kind of, being a parent, just not for me, I'm sure for every parent in the world, it's such a huge responsibility because it's one place where you can just be totally selfless and be there for the other, feel the other. I mean, especially if things are very fine in your life, you're supported on all sides and you're not being torn for time or torn for resources, and you have this precious time as your child is growing up. I would say it's a very deep spiritual experience.
Mhm. Thank
And
you.
unfortunately for people, I think they get stuck into problems and challenges and, relationships not being good, and their focus goes there, and happens that they're not able to take this most precious moments of their life to bring attention there and care to it. That's why it's very important to kind of, what Shri Krishnaji and I teach is
Mm,
helping people get out of suffering and stress and anxiety and fear, and nurturing beautiful states and consciousness. That is very essential. And especially if you're a mother, you become super responsible, because you are like, your states are getting passed on. It's
mhm.
just not your inheritance, or it's just not your wealth, or it's just not your genes. It is your inner experience that you're passing on to your child, and you want your child to be joyful, happy, have beautiful experience of life and everything. So it is definitely an added responsibility, and probably one of the most deeply spiritual experiences one can have.
Of course, I absolutely agree with you. And was your moment of enlightenment sudden, or did it involve gradual unfoldment?
I think around 17 experiences
Mhm.
of vastness, experiences of stillness, the
Mhm.
quietness, experiences of no self. All that started off when I was 17 years old. Until that point, I would say my experience has only been through connecting,
Mhm.
through the connection that I could experience. But the powerful enlightenment experience started off when I was 17 years old. And it started off as one, then it came and it came, it came, it came, and it continues to come. So it becomes like, it is more like you opening up your channel to access something very beautiful. And just like how one is traumatized, one has kind of got access to one particular stream of thoughts and thinking and inner experience again and again.
Mhm.
When you open up your consciousness to something so beautiful, so powerful, and it keeps coming, and the more it comes, more easily it comes. So it's also connected. And yeah, I would say from the time I was 17 years old.
Mhm. Thank you. Many people see spirituality and business as opposites. In your upcoming event, Experience Enlightenment, Consciousness of Abundance, Sri Krishnaji and you are guiding people how to create wealth from beautiful inner state. How have you merged inner stillness with outer expansion?
Yeah. See, yes, you said throughout history it has been seen as two opposing sides of a spectrum, like, either you're either spiritual or you're material. But what we want is, we want people being deeply spiritual in the world, in the material world, because what the world needs today is that. We want enlightened parents, enlightened teachers, enlightened leaders, enlightened business owners. Enlightenment is a state. It's
Mhm.
a state. It's an inner experience. You have to go about creating wealth from a place of great fulfillment, great joy, and the great impact that you can truly create. You need to go ahead creating beautiful relationship from a place of love. So the external would actually is reflecting your state, and you can't be in a state of lack, state of anger or fear or anxiety or stress, and then go about living your life and creating all that. It kind of makes you get burnt out. I mean, we're seeing a lot of cases of huge, like, very very serious depression, because internally you are struggling so much, and externally you're trying to create so much of whatever you want to create. But imagine if you're able to be joyful and you're able to do whatever you're doing. That is what the world needs today. And it is changing all over the world. Like a couple of years ago, say 10 years ago, when I got into a hall, it was more seekers in the hall. Today, when I get into a hall, I see more people from the world in the hall who are creating business owners or leaders or
Mhm.
politicians. We see all these people have somehow kind of realized that they can't continue living their life the old way. They
Mhm.
need to do something more. They're figuring it out, like this is not working. We need to do something more. And right now, the spirituality, meditation, powerful experiences of enlightenment, teachings, wisdom, realizations, insight are getting interwoven into an inner experience of one's life. And right now, we were just leading to, we were both of us in like leading a small group of people or leaders from around the world, and
Mhm.
how much they've integrated spirituality into their wealth, or spirituality into their position, or spirituality into their relationship. It's beautiful. And we believe, we see, we believe, and we know that the world needs that.
Yeah, this is amazing what you're doing and so, so important. What are the top three qualities required in a spiritual teacher of the future?
Connection is one. To be in a very powerful state of consciousness is very important. So, spirituality is not knowledge.
Mhm.
Spirituality is not knowing things. You need to be a deeply spiritual person in order to be a spiritual teacher, to be able to connect, to be able to bring attention, to be able to see, to be able to know yourself. All these are, I mean, absolutely important if you have to or want to be a spiritual teacher.
Mhm.
It's not like science or mathematics or geography or history. Those are knowledge. Spirituality is, of course, y- you need to have used those powerful teachings on you, and you need to be very deeply spiritual in terms of your state, your experience of connection, your joy, your love, um, how you handle your problems, your challenges, how you don't kind of get stuck in suffering and sadness and stress and anxiety. So you as a person embody spirituality, then you can be a good spiritual teacher.
Mhm. And if someone feels lost, numb, or broken, what is the very first step they can do to take to come back to themselves?
See, there is this spiritual practice called the soul sync meditation that we have created for. I mean, people use it all over the world. The followers use it. It's very beautiful in the sense it kind of gets you in touch with yourself. It's 12 minute, it is guided. So even if somebody is not done meditation earlier, is very new to meditation, or just don't know to sit. But this soul sing practice is step by step, leading one after the other, and pushing you into a place of profound expansion in consciousness.
Mhm.
You feel connected. So for people who are lost, who are depressed, there's somebody who have been disconnecting themselves from life, from people around, for whatever might be. Could be a circumstance, could be a very like a crisis, or could be a habitual way. That's how they've been living their life. It kind of comes to a brink where, like, you feel so lost, you're so disconnected. So this soul sync practice, slowly, it's kind of rewiring your brain, your mind, your consciousness, your body, moving you into a place of expansion and connection. And that's something I would highly recommend for anybody who feels lost at this point. It is called the Soul Sync Meditation. It's a
Mhm.
12-minute meditation.
Thank you so much. And we come with our own interview to an end, and I would like to address a last question to you. If the earth herself would whisper a message through you to humanity, what message do you think that would be?
Time spent in stress, in anxiety, in fear, in loneliness, in sadness, guilt, anger, hate, regret. The time that you're spending in it is a wasted life. Learn to nurture a beautiful state in consciousness, and you would begin to see life is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So wonderful for these questions because it was new. And yeah, it's nice to have newer question, newer perspective, addressing newer challenges or a newer group of people. Man, I really loved it.
It's important for me talking to inspiring people from over the world, make other people feel the inspiration, get some points of connecting the dots for themselves, and getting also the idea who could be a role model for them. We need great role model in behavior and thinking and elements, but also from the whole people. And inspiration and empowerment is, from my point of view, so important. And we have a world full of so much outer and external influences, which are toxic. The more it's important to give these people an idea of storytelling and ideas where they can touch base and get a kind of stories and pictures for themselves in their heads to change their mind and get and touch base, feel the ground again, and get a chance to change for the better. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate every second you took, and we see each other very soon.